initial thought at the time was I wanted to put tilapia in it, and that way it was kind of a 2-for-1. But now that we've done the pond in the backyard, I'm gonna hold off on that until I see if this dries up in the summer. If it stays full year round, I'm gonna start putting fish in that. If it
Oh,
dries out in the summer, then I might revisit buying that stock tank. Um, but yeah, it's definitely an option. It's just a very expensive option. So they're
yeah.
usually made out of stainless steel, which keeps them from rusting. It keeps stuff from like growing in them to a certain extent, but there is much cheaper ways. There's always, Nate used to laugh at me for it. He's like, every time I want to figure out how to do something, I research it, figure out what I want to do, and then I ask Brendan because he'll find a way to do it for a third of the price. And it won't be as pretty, but I'm cheap. I'm real good at cheap. So as far as that goes, so like our first rain catchment system, right? It was one little gutter off the side of the house into a steel 55-gallon drum, and we only used it for watering animals and watering the garden. And what I did to get the water out, they sell these little brass, uh, fittings that
Hmm.
have a marble and a spring on them, and they hook onto a vinyl hose. And you just set them down in there, and you shake it up and down. And so when you shake down, it pumps water in, and when you lift it up, the marble seals it, and it creates a siphon. And that works great as long as your water level's higher than whatever you're trying to fill up, a 5-gallon
Yeah.
bucket or whatever. Um, so that's an option as far as siphoning. Wouldn't help you in the case of like getting water out of a pond or a creek because you would be higher than the pond or the creek. But
Yeah.
we did that 55-gallon drum for years. Never had a problem with the animals. Never had a problem with the garden. Upgrade to a you know 275-gallon tote. Had that for a while. I modified it. I cut the top off it. Now it's got fish in it, and by fish I mean like mosquito fish, guppies, things like that. Um, because I'm constantly putting mosquito fish and minnows and things like that in my stock tanks around the property
Hmm.
because it keeps the mosquitoes down. Because if you've got 4 or 5 open bodies of water, it's Florida. We
Yeah.
have, what is it, 3,700 different breeds of mosquito in the state of Florida. I don't need them at my house. So
Yeah.
you throw minnows in all your open bodies of water. Um, I throw a dozen minnows in each stock tank like once a year, and they usually live throughout most of the year, unless it's a particularly hot summer. Sometimes they don't make it, but staying in that IBC tote in the front yard, they've been out there for 3 years. I threw a 5-gallon bucket full of minnows I got out of that ditch in front of my house during a hurricane one year. They've just been breeding, doing their thing. I don't feed them, just let nature take its course. And now I've got, almost 300 gallons of water should I need it. Well, like I
Yeah.
said, we have dipped into it for animals during hurricanes and things like that, but it's just a backup to a backup.
Yeah.